Megan. Well, I'm pretty sure for most of the FFA members that are in the room, there's a term that you've heard of before, college and career readiness. And probably when I just said that, there was some eye rolling, but I can't see that from here, so I'll just assume you really smiled when I said that. But you know, in the past few years, that's become the buzzword, college and career readiness. That is something that's very important. And your schools, for those of you that are in high school, that's a big deal. They want to make sure that you do well on the ACT. They want to make sure that you perform on the skill standards assessment or the work keys. The thing is that it wasn't that long ago that career and technical education, or CTE, which agriculture education is a part of, wasn't seen as an overly valuable piece of education. The fact is, there were times administrators would never go down the hallway to visit an ag ed classroom. The curriculum was sometimes seen as maybe a little less than stellar. And from time to time, students would get placed into classes not because they had an interest, but because they were a problem, and it was easier to stick them away from the normal classes instead of trying to help them. So what happened over time is the fact that some people started seeing that CTE, not only agriculture education, but family consumer science, business education, manufacturing, automotive technology, all those things were those other classes. Then all of a sudden, college and career readiness come around, and schools started saying, well, maybe we should pay attention. Maybe we should see what they're doing back there. And when they went down there, they figured something out. They said, you know, they're actually taking stuff that they're learning other places, and the kids understand it. They're taking these problem students that we didn't want, and they're not only they're staying in school, they're graduating. They started to figure out, if they didn't already know, that career and technical education not only is the heart of how they will score well in accountability, but it is the lifeblood of a student's success, of communities and schools being able to drive to the future. Something that we haven't seen as a mindset in career and technical education almost ever. But the fact of the matter is that there have been those students that have been dumped into classes, and I'm keenly aware that there are plenty of students that enroll in an ag ed class and they know exactly what they're getting into. They want to learn about ag ed. They love what they've known about FFA, and they want to be a part of it. But there are those students that get placed into a class and they didn't want to be there. Maybe that was the only class that was available. Maybe a guidance counselor just wanted to get rid of the student and set them down there. Who knows what the reason is, but there's always that student, those students that are sitting in the class and may not know why they're there and may not care. But here's what's interesting, is that we have had, since the start of Ag Ed in Kentucky, we have literally had teachers that stood in front of those classrooms and said, don't worry, I will teach you. You don't feel like you fit in anywhere else, I'll take care of that. You don't like sitting and taking paper and pencil notes? We'll do hands-on application. And because of that, we've had extreme success. But that's because there have been teachers of agriculture there willing to do that type of work, to not say you're a lost cause. 81% of students that drop out of high school say that if they would have been exposed to more real-life application, they would have stayed in school. They were asking for a career and technical education class. Students that enroll in a CTE course are more likely to have higher grades, to be more engaged, to have more critical thinking skills than students that are not enrolled in those classes. In the state of Kentucky, 97% of students that take a career and technical education class graduate on time from high school, which is much higher than the overall state graduation rate is. And 70% of students in CTE classes go on to further their education by receiving certification, 2-year associate, 4-year bachelor's, or any other type of continuing education. So am I the only one that feels that maybe we have had the answer to college and career readiness the whole time? I believe we have. Thank you. One of the most amazing things is that, yes, you have some of the struggling students, but you have the wonderful students also in this one classroom. And there are those teachers that stand there and say, I will teach you. I am the product of great ag teachers. And you have a story about how your ag teachers changed your life. And as you saw with the Ag Teachers Change Lives group, these people that for years have dedicated their lives to this idea, as Dr. Brandon said, of by choice and not by chance. But here's something to be aware of. Nationwide, we are on the verge of a shortage in teachers of agriculture. We do not have enough students graduating from college with a degree in agriculture education to meet the demand nationwide. Now, while in Kentucky we're not quite at the shortage rate, we're close. We cannot afford to let programs shrink or to shut the doors on programs because there are students in middle schools and elementary schools that need the same experience that you have had. So if you are passionate about agriculture, if you have had your life changed by it, if FFA is something that absolutely drives you, I truly hope you will consider being a teacher of agriculture. It is truly one of the most beneficial careers that there are, and you can literally see the world change before you when you simply stand in front of that classroom and dedicate yourself to helping students understand more about the food and fiber industry. And we know that it's even so much more than that. You know, inside the Statue of Liberty, in the base of the Statue of Liberty, there's a bronze plaque, and it has the sonnet, what's called the New Colossus on it. And originally it was written about immigration. But there's actually a few lines of it that fit in right here. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. Your wretched refuse from your teeming shore, send them, the homeless, the tempest-tossed. I hold my lamp beside the golden door. For years, there have been other programs in high schools or middle schools, or there have been mindsets where people said, no, we can't teach you, we don't want to teach you, but the whole time, Ag Ed has said yes. They've said that we can teach you, we will teach you, we will give you a place, a home, you will feel valued, you can be successful. And we don't care who you are, where you're from, what you know, who your family was, you can grow and you can be successful. Anybody from the jock, the goth, the nerd, the hipster, the city kid, the country boy, the autistic, the blind, the poverty-stricken, those looking for a chance, from the student wearing designer labels to the kid in hand-me-down clothes, the valedictorian and the kid reading on a third grade level, the kid with the loving family and the child that's abused at home, the driven, the lost, the determined, the confused. Ag Ed has found a place for all of them. We say we don't worry about the past, we look at the future. We don't see the flaw, we look at the possibility. We don't say we will give up, we say we will give a chance, because we have been the ones holding that lamp up for every student that was looking for a home, and we continue to do that. We have been and will continue to be the essence of true college and career readiness. We're actually more of life readiness, if you will. If there is anyone anywhere that believes that career and technical education, if agriculture education is more of a last-ditch effort than a first-class opportunity, they are terribly wrong. And obviously, they've never met any of you. I would tell anyone that did have that thought process that I work for the best students in the world. I see every day how you are thoughtful, how you work honestly, how you advocate endlessly, how you welcome unconditionally, but more than anything, you inspire constantly. And I want to thank you for all of that you do, and you may not even realize that you do. Thank you for being the gold standard of what true college and career readiness is. Thank you for welcoming in anyone who wants to be part of the Ag Ed family. Thank you for a commitment beyond what you have to do, but more than anything, I want to thank you for being a constant inspiration to this advisor. Thank you.